Her father died falsely accused, and for 13 long years, the daughter swallowed her pain, vowing to avenge him. She opened the only possession her father left behind, an unremarkable wooden box. Inside, however, was a $50 million check, 49% ownership in a major corporation, a handwritten letter from her father, and a photograph of him with several friends. The letter laid out in detail how he had been framed. The very men in that photo had conspired against him, destroying their family. But while her father begged her not to seek revenge, the girl looked at the faces of those enemies and made up her mind. She would make them pay. She took on a new name, Ellie, and worked her way into high society. Eventually, she rented a villa directly across the street from one of her father's betrayers. No sooner had she settled in by the seaside than someone approached her. The woman introduced herself as Lydia, the owner of that villa, and one of the very people in the incriminating photo. Ellie began following her, trailing her to a hotel, where she soon spotted Kenny arriving as well. That's when a daring plan came to her. She disguised herself as a hotel waitress, slipped into their room, and laced their food with drugs. Not long after eating, Kenny suddenly fell violently ill and collapsed. An ambulance rushed him to the hospital. From a distance, Ellie watched calmly, then deliberately walked up to Lydia, pretending to be concerned. She asked what had happened and if she could help. Lydia, flustered, stammered out a refusal before turning to flee in panic. Later, Victoria hurried to the hospital, only to be told by doctors that it was just food poisoning. Using her connections, Ellie secured an invitation to a local charity cruise gala. There, she seized the chance to meet Victoria, another one of her father's betrayers. Victoria warmly introduced Ellie to her close friend Lydia. Ellie smiled and said they'd already met. Lydia nodded, explaining they had run into each other at the beach. But Ellie added that she had also seen her at the hotel the day before, then casually asked with feigned concern how Lydia's husband was doing. At that, Victoria glanced at her friend, whose face turned visibly awkward. In that instant, Victoria understood. What Ellie didn't know, however, was that despite how carefully she had hidden her identity, someone had already seen through her disguise. And at that very moment, that person was waiting inside her home.